But Poland, they are breathing a sigh of relief. And I wanted to hear your guys' take on that Poland-Argentina match. Because I was almost ripping my dreadlocks out, and I got lots of them to spare, but ripping them out watching that match.
I mean, it was crazy, seeing Poland, who have been really tight defensively, then going up against Argentina. I mean, I think we all expected Argentina to win, but Argentina had chances to really embarrass this Polish side. Poland were really hanging on at the end. I mean, bar a goal line clearance, Argentina get that third goal, and suddenly Mexico are actually in the knockout phase. So I think, ultimately, Poland, I totally agree. I think that they can consider themselves fortunate to be going through. How fortunate, they'll be coming up against France, and we will discuss that and look ahead to it a bit later. But Lucho, I'm going to come to you now. How are you impressed by the way that Argentina managed to recover from the shock of losing that first game against Saudi Arabia? Or do you think it was inevitable that, Argentina would be able to shake that off, and reestablish themselves as favorites for this title?
No, of course, if you go back to how Argentina arrived to this World Cup, being one of the favorites, the way they were playing, very attractive, the players were all in top form, I think we were shocked by the first game. I think that they thought that it was going to be easy peasy, start the first one, we're going to win it, and let's go through, and then we make changes, make rotations. Suddenly, they found themselves in a rush of getting a good result. I'm impressed the way, the word is not impressed, but I really enjoyed that they managed to react. We are all think that it's easy to lose the first one and change the mindset and start playing better. And today, and the last game, you could see the Argentina make that reaction, start being the Argentina that we were all expecting. Today, I think they play very well. Not the best game that we've seen this Argentina side, but they played the best game. First change of Julian Alvarez up front, I think, is one of the most important ones. I think Scaloni gave him the chance to this kid that is doing so well in Manchester City. Today, once again, he was very dangerous, creating opportunities, and at the end scoring a fantastic goal. I think that probably we are not going to see Lautaro Martinez in the next round because he's been fantastic so far in the middle of the park once again. And so it's been a great discovery for everybody, because we've seen it, we follow a little bit to this young talent from Benfica, but today, once again, was the key player in the middle of the park. He was defending well. He was always ready to the transition in defense when Poland tried to do a little bit, because they didn't show up today. We didn't see Lewandowski, Krychowiak, Zielinski. We haven't seen anything from them today. But once again, you need to win. You need to win and score goals against this Polish side that is not easy. So a lot of praise for the team, and let's see if this Argentina can bring the best of them, because they're going to need it for the next round.
When Argentina lost to Poland, when Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, I feel there was a big air of arrogance. I think there was an arrogance coming in. Everyone was talking about Argentina and Brazil being the favorites to win this World Cup. I don't think they kind of realized how motivated some of these teams are going to be to play against them. And I think that's what it was. And I think they needed that to get into the zone, as Lucho just described. Now you can see they're a lot more concentrated. They're not the finished article, you would say. They're not someone you could say, right, they're tuned in fully. But I think they're a lot more concentrated now from that defeat to Saudi Arabia. It was a kick up the backside that they needed. And I think they realize now they need to earn their wins. They've got no right to walk in with believing that just because they are the Copa America champions that they're going to win this World Cup. So I think that's a real wake-up call that they needed in this competition. Lucho touched on Enzo Fernandez and Alvarez, how great they are. And what people need to understand about Alvarez for me is he is a Pep Guardiola player. What he does, not just the scoring goals, it's what he does defensively. Lucho would say, and so would Mike would say, the best way to defend, or defending as we always say, starts from the front. When you have a striker who is going to howl and hurry centre backs and defenders and make them uncomfortable, it makes it so much more easier for the back four and the midfield to be able to defend as well. So he brings that real energy and element of hard work, which is a typical Pep player. And he's having a fantastic time, and you can see him going on from glory to glory. And Fernandez, I had the pleasure of watching him, and both of them obviously playing for River Plate, doing so well at River Plate, graduating, and then now going into Europe and flourishing even more so.
Credit also has to go to Scaloni. He puts out a lineup and really rewards the likes of Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister. It takes a lot of guts for a manager. You're leaving out Lautaro Martinez, who's been the main man for Inter Milan, been the main man in Serie A next to the likes of Rafael Leao. I mean, this guy is becoming a world superstar and a world-class attacking talent. To leave him out, that is a big call. To put in the likes of Julian Alvarez is a big call. And that just shows the confidence and the competition that remains in this Argentine team. I go back to one of my favorite World Cups, the 2002 Brazilian national team. If you look at their run to winning a World Cup, the likes of a Cleberson didn't really feature till the last group game. He had a fantastic game, and Scolari rewarded him and said, hey, you're my main man next to Gilberto Silva. You will support my front three of Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and Rivaldo, and they go and win a World Cup. I think the likes of Lautaro Martinez coming off the bench, the fact that you still have Papu Gomez that can come off the bench, change the game. Paulo Dybala is not featured yet. Will we see him going forward for the world, or in this World Cup for Argentina? They are spoiled for talent, but I love their attitude, their aggression. This is much more of the Argentina that we were expecting from the onset, and they have now become one of the teams that no one wants to play alongside the French and the Brazilians.
Well, you mentioned the French, and obviously there was a time when we were looking at the draw, wondering if Argentina or France, one of them, might finish second and therefore come up against each other immediately out of the group stage. We know now that that's not going to happen. Poland are going to be going through and going up against the French, who were beaten by Tunisia. We'll get onto that later on. But you've also got Argentina now going up against Australia. On paper, you'd argue that that's a favorable draw for both the French and the Argentines. But is there a chance that we might see either of those two sides underestimate their opponents? Mike, I'm going to come back to you first for that one.
If you are the French national team attacking contingent, you are licking your lips. You are going to watch this game between Argentina and Poland, and you are going to devour them. I think the fact that French core, Olivier Giroud, didn't really feature in that game. I missed the last bit of it. I must have been on the French feed that you were on, JJ, missing the final bit of the last final seconds of the game.
No big deal. Just missed Griezmann's equalizer being cancelled by VAR.
No, but the fact that what I take from this French national team, yes, they lost against Tunisia. We'll touch on that a bit later. But the fact that when Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann came on the field, Ousmane Dembélé, the game changed immediately. The appetite for scoring goals that this French team has, and they're showing at this World Cup, it makes them a force to be reckoned with, and they will not underestimate Poland. They will be hungrier than ever to humiliate Poland in the ways that Argentina were capable of. I don't think Poland has the capability or the capacity. They do have the goalkeeper that can keep them in knockout round games. Szczesny, again, this guy stood on his head, saved a massive PK against Lionel Messi. Questionable initial penalty kick call, though, from I think the referee on that chance on Messi.
Very, very soft penalty, we have to say. We all love to see Messi grabbing a ball and trying to get a penalty, even though he's the first player. I read the first player in the history of the World Cups to miss two penalties. And all the credit to Szczesny. He's been outstanding. Another save from Julian Alvarez. They could have been the first goal in the first half. So he's been fantastic all through. But for me, he's the best keeper so far. And well, we'll see if he can continue, because I just don't see. I don't see this Polish team. You try to get in anything from the next game. I think they were very, very poor today in one of the most important. Until the point that I've seen the manager making a change, Crichoya, because he had a yellow card, and that yellow cards are points. So Mexico could have gone further forward in the competition if they had less yellow cards. Until that point, because they were levels at all the things that they have to be. So it was very impressive to see these Polish teams today not doing almost anything, not even trying to go for a goal. So I don't think that they got any chance. And in the other side, Australia, for me, I would love to say, I played there. I love the country. I love the spirit of it. I don't like that they call it soccer still, but I think that they're gonna found an Argentina in full flow. I think that is the right moment for Argentina. They already suffer what they have to suffer. They face a hit back. They face that they cannot, if they don't they don't play the full capacity that they have, they're going to struggle, because any team, and we've seen in the competition, that anyone can give you a headache. So I think that at the moment, you guys just mentioned, Argentina, you don't want to face Argentina because now they become dangerous. They know how to compete. They know how to deal with this kind of situation. They are used to it. So now Argentina is once again one of the favorites.
Yeah, I think that there's not really much to add to that. I think Licho could obviously give you more insight to what's going on now. And it's the fact of you come out of the group stages, which was the first objective. Now you're in the knockout stages. The mentality of the players and the teams completely changes. Yes, it's a World Cup. Anything is still possible. But when you look at Argentina now, they're finding their form and their rhythm, and that's when they're going to become dangerous. Poland scraped their way through. I don't think there is always going to be that belief there. Yes, they're going to want to win games, but with the firepower that Argentina have, and when I'm talking about Poland obviously going to play French. They should be worried. They should be very worried. Because for me, I see a French side that's just as focused as I see the Brazilian side. I'll still say Argentina finding their rhythm, but when I look at this French team, and especially Mbappe, I think there needs to be a lot more respect for Mbappe's name to say that he is probably the best player in the world football right now. And obviously Benzema's just won it, but when you talk about form right now, he is acting that way and he's carrying himself that way and he's playing that way. The football he's playing is absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion, because you can see he actually is embodying that and taking that I am Mr. France and taking it on his shoulders, burden that comes with it, and he's playing fantastically well. He's become the main man. They have too much for Poland. Poland scraped their way through. I think Australia have done so well to get here. And I don't think anyone predicted in their bracket that Australia would come out of that group. What a phenomenal achievement through just hard work, graft, grit. Probably just, you'd say what Australian people are, for those of us who have Australian friends. You know, it's just really that never say die attitude. Tremendous to get out of that group. But again, what scares me about Argentina is they're coming into their form. And that's what you need when you're coming into World Cup. And Lucho can add to that, especially in the group stages when you come out. It's a different mentality now. When you're coming into your form, you're even more so dangerous.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's difficult not to look too far ahead. Now we know where Argentina are going to figure in the draw, Mike Lahoud, because obviously if the USMNT were to be able to pull off a shock, and I think we can qualify it as a shock coming up against the Netherlands, that would set up a tantalizing quarterfinal clash with Argentina.